Welcome to the Almost Punk Enough podcast, brought to you by that'sgoodenough4me.com. My name is Daniel. I go by the pen name Rizchex. If you just stumbled across this podcast and you've never checked out that'sgoodenough4me.com, you should, because it's full of punk and ska news, interviews, album reviews, live show reviews, all kinds of good stuff. So if you've never checked it out, you should head over and do that. And if you like this podcast, please tell your friends. And if you don't have any friends, tell your enemies or whoever. So if you are all into hardcore skate punk, then you will have heard of this episode's guest. They formed back in the early 1990s when Monty Messex blurted out to Adam Horowitz, who you also may know as Ad Rock from the Beastie Boys, "You want to start a punk band?" And he was like, "Yeah, let's go over to G-Sun." That's right, we got DFL, Dead Fucking Last. We're going to be joined by Monty Radar Messex, Patrick Sullivan, and Snare Jordan. Will be joining on this episode. So we're going to talk about the new album, the writing process. We don't pick a favorite track because they're all good, but we do touch on the history of the band, their upcoming tour, playing at Camp Punksylvania this year. And I guess that's about it. Let's just get into it.
Yeah, you're punk enough. Well, yeah, that's good enough for me.
All right, we're here today with DFL. If you guys, since this is a audio podcast, if you don't mind, just introducing yourself. That way, we have a voice to go with each person.
My name is Patrick, and I play bass in DFL.
My name's Jordan. I play drums in DFL.
Monty, guitar and background vocals, along with Pat. Pat does a lot of background vocals too.
Awesome. Well,
And some lead.
thank you so much for joining us. This is great. I do have one question right off the bat. I noticed that Patrick, you've been in the band for like 5 years now. But you don't have like a band name like, Pizza Man Patrick or something like that?
No.
You just keep
Patty.
Just Pat.
Just keeping it Pat. All right.
He's the only one, huh? The only one that doesn't
I
get
think
called.
usually, a lot of people call me Please Stop.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have a new album coming out called Fuck It. It's coming out, I believe, in the U.S. end of May 29th on Spam Records. That's the first record in about 5 years.
Yeah.
Fletcher from Pennywise produced it, and I see Mario C. also helped with some of the mixing, vocal stuff. The first track's out now, single called Second Chances, and there's a video to go along with that. So what do you want us to tell people about the new album? How does this album compare or rank to your other albums?
Well, I guess I can jump in. And feel free, guys, if you wanna, because this is a record that Pat and Jordan and myself and Tom, we all worked on it together, and everybody contributed to it. And also just it was recorded with Eddie C from the Voodoo Glow Skulls.
Okay.
So he was also
Okay.
really involved in it. And I think Eddie sang some background vocals on I think maybe Fuck It or something.
Okay.
But
Got a great studio at his house.
Yeah,
but
I checked out the single, and I would say it had a little bit more serious subject matter than maybe some previous stuff. I don't know if you agree with that or what your thoughts are.
what's that? The one that just came out?
Yeah,
Sorry, I spaced out. Second Chances?
yeah. It was.
Um,
It had kind of a more serious, real life, subject matter, for that one.
I don't think it was on purpose, though. It seemed pretty natural. Like it was a natural follow-up to Why Are You DFL, right?
Mm-hmm.
the record is, I think the record, does it's the whole album. It still has like that the hardcore sound that we go for, and it was all recorded pretty much live, and didn't do a lot of overtakes or anything like that with Eddie. And And I think it kind of fits in the, the whole DFL vibe, I mean, in terms of our records, it doesn't feel like a departure, it just feels like
You mean
another deal.
lyrically though, right?
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
No,
for
just
for
for that.
fucking
Yeah, well, just for that song, that first single.
second chances.
Yeah. No,
Um, Second chances, yeah, it's serious. I mean, it's written. I wrote the lyrics for that song and the music, and I was thinking about just myself and Tom. We've been friends for like over 40 years, and just thinking about people that we've lost over the years, and to various things, um, and just thinking like, damn, we're still here. You know what I mean? And I'm a sober person, and I feel like, also I've been kind of given a second chance, with life in that regard. And so, and that's what it meant to me, just in terms of just like, we're still here, we're still around, and but we've lost a lot of friends, and a lot of good people too along the way, and but for whatever reason, here we are.
yeah, yeah. And then, musically, you've described or I've heard the description of like that lo-fi hardcore sound. I definitely feel that the album has that. Is that something you specifically try to capture, or you just happens naturally like
I
that?
think it happens naturally. I mean, it's not like something we have to force. But for me, it's the way I like to record it, with its, so we went to the studio with Eddie and me, Patrick, and Jordan, just set up and just played the songs. We practiced them for a while, and wrote them in the studio, while we were practicing, and then just got together and just played them live, and I think we did some overdubs of guitars for leads and stuff, but just to try to not overthink it, you know what I mean, and just make it more of a performance than getting in there and messing around with, like I'm gonna play my guitar to a click track or something.
Mhm.
It's something we don't do.
How does the writing process? How did that work for this album?
Start with the cowbell and kind of go from there. No, we all got
Um,
in the room and just jammed. We brought ideas and kind of fleshed them out together.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is that a quick process, or is it something you took took several,
It's
weeks,
pretty
months?
it's pretty natural and quick. At least it has been for this album. We've kind of
Fuck,
naturally
it was really quick.
yeah.
Money was like, "Hey, I have this song," and it was
Yeah,
done like that afternoon.
pulled that out of his ass like right before he went to the studio.
Yeah.
but,
He did.
but I had that riff for like a year or two, and I remember I played a few guys, and you were like, "No, I don't like it, and I don't like it," and then I kept reworking it, and finally got something that kind of clicked, with "Fuck It." So. Um, but yeah, uh, the way the DFL historically has written songs is like usually like I'll write the music, and then maybe I'll write the chorus and Tom will write the verses. And some of the songs kind of followed that, where I came in and I had like the song written and I knew what the chorus was going to be, and I kind of hand it over to Tom, and Tom will write lyrics to it. Um, and I really don't. I don't tell Tom what to write or anything. He
Mhm.
does his thing, I do mine, and it seems like it comes together. But also on this record was like the first time that that somebody besides me and Tom wrote. So like Patrick wrote two songs, Bang and Paddy Wagon. So he wrote the
Mhm.
music for those two songs, and I think did you write the chorus for any of them, or did you write any lyrics for those songs? I can't remember.
Well, I messed up singing the lyrics to Bang when we recorded it, and we went with it.
Nice.
Well, I wanted it to
It's
be to
better.
be
It's
It's
better.
better.
that's what I wanted to
Yeah.
be bang your head. But and Tom wrote the verses, and I think I think Bang was, the chorus for that song, and I think I kind of edited it too and said like, why don't we try it this way? And maybe that's the way it is on the record. I can't remember, but it's we pretty much write together, but it's the this band is a type of thing where it's like it just works better if we come to practice with like kind of fully formed songs and then present it and then we can kind of like say, well, why don't we try shortening this, or why don't you try playing that faster or something like that.
Tom is really good at that. Like we'll have
Yeah.
it, and he has an ear like where the song should go. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like we'll be like, "This is what we hear," and he'll be like, "Yeah, but do this and that." And I'm saying like 95% of the time, he's absolutely right.
Yeah, he shortened it. He was like, why don't you play No You Don't? Like I had the verse going a lot slower, and then he cut it in half and said try to play it faster. But he also
Yeah.
tried to like cut off some things. Like he tried to cut off the end of Tour Talk and also the end of Heavy as the Head. And I pushed to keep those in. And then when we were mixing with Fletcher really liked those endings. And Tom was still wanting, like pushing to have them like cut out, and Fletcher like vetoed him. So
That's that
Fletch
5%.
is like,
That's that
we're gonna keep
5%.
it, and I'm gonna sing on this part.
That's that 5%. That's us.
So
Is there a favorite track on the album?
Oh man, I like them all. I think since I'm involved in them all, I just like them all. But I mean, I like Paddy Wagon and Second Chances are probably two of my favorite songs. I also like Tour Talk.
I think
Yeah.
I like Bang and No You Don't because they just. But I don't know. Sometimes I like the Heavy's Ahead. It's a positive message. It's kind of like rough and grungy. I don't know.
yeah.
I like the album though. As a whole, I think it works good together.
Yeah, it's like asking somebody like which one is your favorite child.
Mhm.
You know what I
Oh,
mean?
that's easy.
Oh, that's easy.
Have you
But,
started playing the songs live yet? You did some, I think so, some East Coast shows in January. Did you play any
Play
of the
Paddy
new?
Wagon live.
Okay.
Fuck
we
it.
play Fuck It,
Yeah.
Fuck It live, and we play WWFD live.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, I mean, I think all the songs are really good, and like right now, I'm just really into Second Chances, just because I guess the video's out and stuff, and the video came out really good. Our friend Brendan McKnight, uh, he shot it and edited it, and and I think it was like kind of like our idea with him in terms of like we were in New York, and we just were on the streets and shot it with Brendan like really fast, like probably took us about an hour maybe to shoot the whole video. It was fucking
It took
freezing
us
cold.
just long enough for it to start snowing very hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was snowing. It was cool.
It was
No, he was a
freezing.
really, really easy guy to work with too. Fun to
Yeah.
hang out with.
Yeah, really cool guy. Really cool guy. Good dude.
Gave us a good
And
recommendation
directed us
to
to a really good bagel spot.
Yes.
Nice.
Good.
Is there going to be any other singles or videos coming out?
We have Paddy Wagon. We have a video for that.
Okay. All right. When is
That
that?
one
That's
came
out
out a
right now.
couple months ago.
Oh, that one's already out?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one came out a couple months ago.
Okay.
That's one that Tom really directed. That one, that was his baby. It's a song that Patrick wrote, and Tom really took the lead on. Had a vision for it, and it's kind of a wacky, crazy video.
Totally different video than Second Chances, but really, really cool.
Yeah, it's a good one. I don't know. I would really like at some time, maybe in the future, to do a video for Fuck It. So I think that song would be a good video.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Just a bunch of pictures of me passed out.
Yeah, I got those.
Yeah, we can just like get like a Sharpie and write "fuck it" on your forehead while you're passed out.
Well, you have I believe a short West Coast tour coming up with Pennywise, Circle Jerks, and H2O. So I assume you're going to play some of the new tracks. Is there any stops you're looking forward to, or anything people should be expecting, or you can let people know what you're going to be playing?
I'm excited to play the Fillmore. I've never played that before.
In San Francisco.
I'm looking
West.
forward to that
In
show.
San Francisco?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
excited.
everywhere on that tour, there's something I'm excited about.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Not to
excited to
mention
play.
just like we're playing with 3 of our friends'
Mhm.
bands, so that's
Yeah.
cool, you know.
Yeah, it's gonna be
excited to play
fun.
with.
It's gonna be a fun tour.
Yeah, I'm excited to play with Pennywise, Circle Jerks, H2O. It'd be fun to hang out with them, and and I love their music. Um, and the last time we played with Pennywise and actually Circle Jerks was our last tour of Europe. We played with them separately, but we went to Prague twice. So we went to Prague once at the beginning of the tour and played with Circle Jerks, and then went back to Prague towards the end of the tour and played with Pennywise. So it's cool that now we're playing with both of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Last time we played with H2O, I think, was Punk Rock Bowling, right? With Madball.
Yep. Yeah. I think that's the only time we've played with them.
And they bring. I just seen them with the Belching Souls, and they sound as good as they've ever sounded. It sounded great.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking forward to playing with those guys and hanging out with them and stuff. And it's cool, Pennywise, Fletcher took us on our first tour, first national tour in the 90s when we signed to Epitaph. They took us out for like 6 weeks in 95, right before Proud to Be was released.
Mhm.
So it's cool to be back playing with them again. And yeah, it'll be a fun one.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Yeah. And then coming up in June, you're going to play Camp Punksylvania, back on the East Coast. Ed, our one of our other editors, he goes under the pen name Bad Dad. He's kind of our Camp Punksylvania like guru.
Oh yeah.
He wanted to join in, but he couldn't make it tonight. But he did give me a list of specific questions for the Camp Punksylvania, because he does a whole write up. He goes to the shows last couple of years and does a whole write up on it, and interviews a bunch of the bands. So if you don't mind, I'll ask you some questions about that Ed was nice enough to provide me.
Sure.
He said, what song in your set feels the most like Invocation, like the one that would pull everyone into your world?
Proud to Be.
Proud to Be? Yeah.
yeah.
Or Thought Control.
Next one he had was who in your band would most likely to survive a horror movie set at the camp, and who definitely wouldn't make it out?
Well, I'd say Pat would survive because that guy can survive anything. Monty probably
I've seen
wouldn't.
Tom get a tattoo at a park, so he's a contender.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't survive. I don't know. Maybe I'd get probably like murdered or something.
We probably wouldn't survive without Monty on tour, though. So it's kind of a
Yeah.
handoff.
All right, if you're at like a campfire set in the middle of the woods and things are getting a little strange, what song are you playing, and what song do you think is going to make it all come unhinged?
At a campfire?
Campfire in the middle of the woods.
Like one of our songs?
Yes, yeah. Or something else you want to cover or play,
Maybe Home's Where the Heart Is, or Function at the Center.
Function at the Center, yeah.
There you go.
Uh,
You could try playing an acoustic version of that song. No, don't.
We did with Johnny Two Bags, remember?
Oh yeah, we did
yeah,
at the Punk Rock Museum.
that's right.
If your set was a ritual, what are you trying to summon, and what are you trying to burn to the ground?
Energy and the venue.
Well said. Well said.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Everybody talks about the scene. what's something the scene gets right, and what's something that you hope improves?
And hope, what was that?
Everybody talks about like the scene. Um, what is something you think the scene gets right, and what's something you hope improves?
Oh,
I mean, I go to shows constantly on all different types
Mm-hmm.
of the punk scene, and you feel like you're home
Mm-hmm.
everywhere, like a backyard warehouse or like the Palladium.
Yeah, there's like a sense of
If you
community.
let yourself get into it, that's what it gets right is you feel home.
Yeah, there's definitely, I think also what it gets right is like this sense of community, like Pat's saying, where you see people, whether like you're like, yeah, you're playing in LA at some place, or you could be playing in fucking Germany and you'll see some
Yeah,
people from other bands, that and it's just like, you're just stoked to see them and they're happy to see you, and there's like a good sense of community. I definitely think that's the thing that the scene gets right. And I don't know, what does it get wrong?
probably the gatekeeping. The gatekeeping go. You don't have to be like some kind of cool to be punk.
Mm-hmm.
People always try and put like a definition on what you have to
Mm-hmm.
be, and I
Mhm.
think everybody should just be happy with who everybody is. Because I see a
Yeah.
lot of the scene, not like a lot of places, but it happens. You have those douchebags out there. Name three songs kind of guys. You're just like, dude, you know,
so I can't name three of our songs. Calm down.
yeah. So maybe less pressure on people who even just get into the scene, just getting into it. Just everybody allowed to be themselves.
Yeah. And people really dig the music, and there's like these days, there's so much music is available online that people can like, basically find all sorts of stuff from like stuff like really obscure stuff from like.
The Goo Goo Dolls first records.
Yeah, I know
It's
that
like,
that's one
yeah,
of your
yeah.
favorites. I know that's one of your favorites. No, like super obscure stuff, and then also, just like whatever. And so I think that's another thing that kind of helps the scene is that you have these kids, especially like younger, like Gen Z kind of kids, but they like, they know the germs and they know like the early punk scene, you know what I mean? And it's kind of cool, in that sense as well.
I don't know.
Agreed.
I don't know if you've seen the lineup for Camp Punksylvania yet, but is there any acts that you're excited to see? I know Lower Class, but Rats is playing the same day as you guys. Is there any other?
Co-defendants, body
Body
count.
count.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Boy
Those
Sam's
are probably the three that I'm most stoked on.
and my boy Sammy's band Human Issue, they're gonna play too. I'm excited to see them.
nice,
At
nice.
the same
On
day
the
as
same day?
us.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
nice, nice.
That's with Hunter
It's
too, right?
Hunter.
yeah, yeah.
Hunter plays drums.
No,
But
he sings.
Sam plays drums, Hunter sings.
Okay, sorry. Um, yeah, I think it'll be fun. It's like, it's always fun to go to these festivals and and you play and it's and run into people and it's, again kind of back to that sense of community. So and it seems like Camp Pennsylvania is like really, it just keeps getting better every
Mm-hmm.
year. I mean, I've been kind of keeping an eye on them for like the last 4 or 5 years, and every year it seems to get better. So I'm glad that we're finally getting the opportunity to play.
Hey, this year being the best, right?
Definitely, it looks pretty good. And I mean, body count.
Absolutely. I'm
And the
excited.
co-defendants. Those guys kill it every time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, those are boys. I love those guys.
yeah, be fun to hang out with them.
Always a blast to hang out with them.
This is another one of Ed's questions, but this one's something I'm very interested in too. He says you've got roots in both the skate culture and in hardcore. Uh, how much do you feel those worlds still overlap and compared to now compared to like in the 90s,
Um,
and I don't know if
Now kids listen to everything though.
hmm
Yeah.
mhm.
But there's still a
Well,
lot of lovers out there.
yeah, I mean, I think that it feels a little bit more separated nowadays with skateboarding and like the hardcore scene.
Hmm.
It at least for DFL, in the 90s, I think we were more kind of there was more overlap for us at least. Um, and and in the 80s, like when I met Tom at like a skate park,
Hmm.
and that we were skating together and listening to music together and, and going out to the punk shows to go see like Black Flag or the Adolescents or whatever, and so there was a lot of overlap then because, those were our lives, and so
Yeah, you were nice enough to send me your oral history, and I was pretty jealous when I read, you grew up skating with Asoy and Alva and Jay Adams, and that sounded like it was a pretty awesome time to be around and to be into that culture.
yeah, definitely. I mean, Tom really, those were, he was really close with Hosoi and those guys, and I did in Alba, and I did skate with them, but they were like older than us too. So
I also saw in there, Monty, that you used to, for a short period of time, or did for a while, lived in Echo Park. What
yeah,
part of Echo Park did you live in? Because I lived in Echo Park for about 4 to 5 years. So
oh yeah. I lived in a couple different places, but last one was up Echo Park Boulevard off of Lemoyne. I don't know, it's
okay,
near Effie, like Echo Park and Effie, like north of Sunset,
yeah,
you
yeah,
could say.
yeah. That's right near where I lived. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I lived there from gosh, probably 88 to like 94.
Hmm.
So, and then we moved. Now I live in Silver Lake.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. I wish I would have bought my house back then. The guy wanted to sell it for cheap, and I was like, yeah, that's a lot of money. But now it's like Echo Park is so, it's so gentrified,
Mhm. Um,
different place.
yeah. Do you still skateboard at all? Does anybody else?
I don't. I
Okay.
don't. My skateboarding days are kind of behind me. It's like I tried it. Gosh, I skated up until like my late 40s, and then it just got to a point where it was like, you're either gonna keep skating and like probably walk with a cane for the rest of your life, or give it up. My ankles were just trashed, and so I just had to. Um, I think we lost Patrick. Yeah, so I just had to just bag it. I mean, I love skating, but it was just got to the point where it was too hard on my body.
Yeah, I haven't skated in like 20 years at least. Yeah,
Um,
got too busy.
Yeah, I still
Another.
snowboard, which is really
Okay.
fun.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm actually much better at snowboarding than I am at skateboarding myself.
Yeah,
The other
yeah.
thing I was very interested in is you had a whole story about how when Grand Royale kind of went under, your all your music and recordings was sold, and you were able to buy it back, and then find like a live recording show, and you were able to re-release it and get all your stuff back. Would you mind sharing a little bit of that story with us?
Sure, yeah. So I guess Grand Royal went bankrupt in my if my understanding is they went bankrupt in like the early 2000s, somewhere around there. I wasn't really involved with
Hmm.
them at all at that point. And but I did get like some notice from like bankruptcy court saying the assets were being sold. And And then when DFL got back together in 2014, 2015, I noticed that our record was like posted online on this thing called GR2 or Grand Royal 2, which had nothing to do with Grand Royal, but it was the company that bought the whole catalog except for the Beastie stuff, and they were posting it and not doing anything with it. And so I just got in touch with them and I was like, hey, I'm in the band DFL. Do you want to sell us the masters? And they were totally cool. They were like, yeah. So I bought the masters from them, and they actually had all the the actual Ampex, like the 2-inch tapes, which is like the raw recordings that were done at
Mm-hmm.
GSUN, and then also the mixtape, which is like a 1/4 inch Ampex, which is what Mario and Adam mixed it down to. So it was really cool. And then, like you said, they had a tape of a party that Mario recorded us playing this like total Hollywood party they had at at G-Sun in the studio. There was like a big kind of basketball court with a stage at the end, and that was cool. So and then I shopped it around trying to see if anybody was interested in putting it out, reissuing, like the whole my crazy life thing, and knocked on a lot of doors, and finally, you end up where you're supposed to. I talked with Joe Nelson from Trust Records. Greg Hetson actually put me in touch with him from the Circle Jerks because Trust put out the Circle Jerks also, and got in touch with Joe like 2019, like right before the pandemic, and he agreed to put it out, and we got a deal going with them, and then all during the pandemic, I worked on the record. I worked on the reissue, the artwork with Brian Ray Turcotte. Um, Mario did remastered it and actually had to remix some things too because we didn't have like the final mixes on a couple tracks, and so he actually remixed things at his studio, and yeah, and then we put it out and on vinyl for the first time, 12-inch vinyl, and then so it's like the CD version but on vinyl, and then but on the B side is this live party that we played, and uh, it's never been released until then.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really cool, and Trust has done a really great job. I was really happy with what they did in terms of the release and getting it out there, and they've been a good partner.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool story. You're able to get all that back and release it. After Camp Punksylvania, what else do you have? Anything else coming up next this year? Any other shows planned? Anything else on the East Coast?
What do you got?
Um,
What do you got?
um, yeah, we're talking with some people. Nothing that we can announce right now, but we're talking with some festivals and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. But uh, uh, but nothing that we can announce right now.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to shout out, promote, or anything while we have you on?
The record is
Hmm.
ready to be ordered. Grab it up. There's some cool variants.
Yep. So
And
yeah, go on the Spam website, and there's like you can get like a U.S. version or a Europe version of the website, and wherever you are located in the world, just grab it. And
awesome.
also come out to the shows.
Yeah,
Come out to
definitely.
the shows that we're going to be doing with Pennywise. We're going to have some cool stuff there. We're going to have some stuff that you can only get at the shows. We're going to have some tour T-shirts, and we're going to have some vinyl, and come and say hi.
Yeah,
We're doing a cool collab with this Canadian company called Rock Cult. So we're doing like a Rock Cult DFL collab. So you're going to have that T-shirt there, or a long sleeve shirt, something, I don't know, but it's going to be dope.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I
Thank
really
you, Dan.
appreciate it. Yeah,
yeah. Thanks for having us.
yeah, no problem. Thank you. And
Yeah,
good
thanks for
luck
having us.
with the tour the tour and like you said, get that album. I've heard most of the album, and it's really good. I'm into it. So
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
yeah, yeah.
What's your favorite song on it?
Uh, that's a good question. I probably have to listen to it a few more times. I listened to it last weekend. Um, Off the top of my head, I mean, I like Fuck It, and I do like Second Chances. The whole album was great. So yeah, thank you guys very much.
having us, man.
Thank you, bud.
Hey.
I'll talk to you guys later.
See you, Pat.
See ya.
Okay. All right, brother. Well, have a good one. Thanks for
You
having
too.
us.
No problem.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
See you, Jordan.
Right. See ya.